Hello everyone. Now, this video here, the next step. Okay, what do we do next? Alright. The next step, okay, I told you guys before, during the first stages, what we're going to do is, we're going to be working through a book like Teach Yourself. Okay, because I believe this book, if after knowing everything in this book, I'm not saying knowing all the vocabulary 100%, but once you know the majority of everything in this book as far as the grammar and whatnot, you're pretty much reaching the intermediate level. Okay, you're reaching the intermediate level, and it's time to step your game up pretty much. So I would recommend, if you're using a Teach Yourself, make sure you're able to, I would say, depending on how much time you have, I'll say if you study hard for 3 months, you should be able to get through this whole book as far as grammar is concerned. Okay, understanding the grammar and whatnot. Now, I'm not saying you need to know all the vocabulary, because vocabulary is going to come, but like you should go to, you go to the dialogue, you go to a random dialogue here, and you go through it, and you understand the grammar, you understand that construction. Okay, you're going to be, during the process, you're going to be building vocabulary anyway, from making journals and talking with native speakers and taking notes on things you don't understand as far as vocabulary. So you're going to build vocabulary. So what you would do is ask yourself, okay, you can start from the end of the book. Like this book has 18 chapters. You can start from chapter 18 and go to the grammar section and ask yourself, okay, point 3, do I understand that? Okay, I understand that. Can I make my own sentences? Can I make up a sentence using that grammatical point? And then move on to the other grammatical points here. And if you feel that, okay, I have those down, I've mastered those grammatical points, go to the next chapter, or back up, go to chapter 17, do the same thing. And once you do all that, if you feel that you understand everything in as far as grammar there, then you can start doing more advanced stuff. Now, I remember telling you guys before that you take what's useful and discard what's not in certain dialogues, but you don't want to never go back to those dialogues. So what you can do is go back, start from chapter 1 or whatever, and listen to the dialogue, okay? And listen to the dialogue, get the sound of it, and then try to translate it. Translate the dialogue, and make sure you understand it. Make sure you understand the dialogue, translate it, and just do that through the whole book, okay? Just to make sure you have a really good understanding of what's going on in each dialogue. So once you're confident that you know a lot of this book already, you say, okay, I'm ready for something deeper, okay? Because this is, like I said, you're going to be in at least intermediate level after working through this book, because it has enough stuff to put you at an intermediate level. So once you're confident enough to try to use something more advanced, I will recommend start translating newspapers and reading stories, translating stories. Of course, you're going to need a dictionary, but a lot of the grammar, there's going to be some grammar. You're going to be familiar with a lot of the grammar because, from working out of this book. There may be some grammar you haven't come across, but that's okay. You can ask a native, if you don't understand, you can ask a native speaker, but I think you will be okay. That's just in case. If you get stuck, you can ask a native speaker about a certain construction if you don't understand. But just start reading newspapers and reading stories and whatnot, and then listening to like news and trying to use the language as much as you can. Now, what I will also recommend, if you want to, and if you have the time and the money, I'll recommend taking a trip abroad. Go over there to the country and spend at least 3 to 6 months, because I don't think you need longer than 6 months to get a really solid level in language. I mean, like a high advanced level. Working your way to a native fluency level. So like 3 to 6 months, you go over there and you do the same thing. You listen to the news, you read, translate, read stories often, and use the language in every aspect. In every aspect, try to use it in every aspect. I mean, every aspect. Okay, so you could do that, and you're surrounded with language, so you don't have a choice but to progress even faster. But before you get there, I would recommend just making sure you're at at least an intermediate, uppermediate level. Okay, so when you translate, okay, what should you do when you translate certain articles, whatever? What I would do is, let's say for example, if there is a story you read about, there's an accident or something that happened over in Japan. Okay, you read this article, you say, oh, you understand the whole article. Okay, you translated the whole article and you understand everything. What I would do for extra retaining, I would find a native speaker and talk to, like, actually find several native speakers in the chat room, or even, you know, in person or whatever, and talk about that story, you know, and all in the language, no English. To speak to them in language, say, yeah, I read about this happened in Japan, this was terrible. They said this, just repeat the stuff that was said, in that article, because that's going to help you retain it even more. You want to remember it. So I feel that whatever you learn, you have to go to the battlefield and use it right away so you can retain it. That's with anything. If you learn idiomatic expression and you say, wow, this is a cool idiomatic expression, and they're talking about what they saying, for example, Japanese idiom, bariki o kakade benkyou suru. Bariki o kakade nihongo o benkyou suru. You use horsepower to study Japanese, which is you're working very hard. Go to the chat room and just use that over and over and over until till you're confident that you've memorized it, you've mastered it. Okay, so that's what you want to do when you translate articles and things you read in a book. Go talk to someone about it. Just go to the chat room and say, oh yeah, I read about this, and and ask them how do they feel about it. What do you feel? What are your thoughts on this accident that happened? Because when you do that, it's going to help you memorize it. You want to retain it. Okay, so that's my advice. That's what I would do. After that would be the next step. Read newspapers, translate articles. That's difficult stuff, but you have to. That's what you have to do in order to improve your level. And like I said, you do that, keep doing that, and you'll move up to like an upper intermediate level. And yeah, you should take a trip overseas. I'm always an advocate of studying abroad. It's just I feel that before going abroad, I feel that one should already be at at least an intermediate, upper-mediate level before they go over there. Why? Because you won't have to spend as much time over there. You won't have to spend that much time over there because you're already at an upper-mediate level, and it's not going to take that long to advance higher, as long as you keep working hard. So that's the next step. That's what you do. So what else am I tell you? So you have your Teach Yourself book, and like I said, just keep doing that. Like I said, 3 months, work hard, at least 2 hours. Now, if you can afford more time than that, that's great. If you can do more, if you do 8 hours a day, that's even better. Because if you do 8 hours a day, you may learn more. You want to progress even faster, learn more before 3 months. But I would say 3 months. 3 months is a maximum. It shouldn't take anyone more than 3 months to pick up a language to at least an intermediate level. You have to do it right. You have to study right. So you have to take these steps and make sure you have to be patient. Okay, definitely be patient while doing this. And when you're talking with native speakers, if there are vocabularies, make sure you write them down. Okay, I'm going to make another video explaining a dictionary, the usage of a dictionary, or how you use a dictionary. My time is running out here. I hope this answers you guys' question. That's for the next step. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Send me a message, and I'll get back to you ASAP. Thanks for viewing the video.